the Brown boys, the Brown boys, the Brown boys, we the Brown boys, the Brown boys, we the Brown boys. But I have changed my stance on Terry Crews, and here's why. Even though I would have still done what I think Terry Crews should have done, which is kick his ass, Terry Crews is still a victim. And we would not blame a woman or pick on a woman who was victimized in the way that he described, although I don't understand it. But it also takes strength for him to stand there and do nothing in front of his wife. I don't know how he was strong enough to do that. It would have been like second nature for me to swing. It takes a strong individual to walk away, and he want a bag out of it. But not only that, I probably would have reacted a different way and still sued his ass. But you still shouldn't be able to put your hands on somebody in that way. But when he described how the industry and people were trying to coerce him not to sue, that's what's the scary thing. It's almost like they're green lighting these adults, males, to be molested and looked at in a certain way, because it's almost frowned upon for a male to say something in that type of situation. So although we all as brothers could say, I would have did this, I would have did that, we still got to keep in mind this dude is a victim. Now, a victim that should have kicked his, I'm still saying he should have kicked his you know what. But let's be honest, if this was a female describing this story, we would not say, oh, he should have had to been violent to that person. And what if this happens to a man that doesn't have a physical prowess like Terry Crews? What if this happened to a 5-foot guy that doesn't know how to fight? Or are we going to have an open season touch on this dude? But there's people out there that cannot fight at all. So we just can't put what we would do in our situation onto everybody else. For the men that don't know how to fight, they shouldn't be assaulted like this. So we got to put blame where it should be, which is this guy that did that to him was a sexual deviant. And he chose to pinpoint his sexual deviance towards a man. Now, back in the day, we had things that we could do to men that did that to us. Nowadays, and in Terry Crews' profession, it's frowned upon. Think about it. He had the same setup as a woman. We always talk about, oh, these rules got to change. But then when a brother go through something, we pick on him. And I took part in that too. Salute the ears of KLO, but they live right now, so get your bitch ass over there. Yeah, don't come in here with that. Anybody say another content creator's name in my chat, fly them out of here on the first thing smoking. Thank you. Well, let's get into the content because I don't think this is right. This is on the Caterer family? Cartier family? I don't know how to say these damn names. Why am I trying to read right now anyway? But let me go to 125 speed and let me goddamn not make this so big because I want to play this under fair use. And let me put that up there. Let me put fucking some music on there because I definitely got to play it with. I don't know these brothers, so I don't know if they flag or not. Hopefully not. Hey, Black Lives Matter, fellas. I know I probably butchered your name, but nevertheless, Black Lives Matter. You feel me? All right, we go.
And do whatever he wanted to do, crazy stuff. The CFO of William Morris Endeavor, a man died in his home dungeon. In his home dungeon. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not saying this to just. It's not a fake. It's not nothing. You can look it up right now.
They might have swept it off the internet.
Yeah, but no, it's true. And wait, the police didn't even. The man dead, but the police didn't do nothing. What is that? This Hollywood. All this stuff is going. It's people got a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? And we walked in on it. We literally at this party. This guy comes and he's grabbing me, man. I'm going, get off me, man. What are you doing? And he looked me in my eyes and he was sticking his tongue out overtly sexually to me. I mean, it was no mistake that this was a sexual type tongue move. And I'm going, and I'm thinking it's a joke. I'm thinking, is this how this guy breaks the ice? I don't understand what this is. I reach my hand out and he takes his right hand and under mine and immediately squeezes, grabs my genitals and I'm jumping like, hey, whoa. And he jumps back and he still does this tongue stuff and he's making weird noises and then he comes back again and grabs me again. And I slap his hand away, push him back more forcefully. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't know why. I think that's justified to beat the shit out of a man. Me personally.
You could have murdered that man.
I would have said that was justified personally.
So how many people
Cat Williams.
And I agree with these brothers. I'm taking the same approach. You know, it's gonna be problems because I don't see gender when it comes to that. It's supposed to be problems on each end. But we do have a society that's been desensitized to it happening to men. I think that we are too lenient when the same thing happened to men that happened to women. That's why you got to focus on the behavior. It's not about who it happens to. It's about the fact that it happened. You got to focus on the behavior. If the behavior is wrong, it should be looked at the same. Otherwise, are you saying that the sons that we having, when they become adults, they're green lit to be touched on? I think that's crazy.
Alluded to that in his interview with Shannon Sharp. He said, I'm
No
one of the
names
only
in
men
the chat.
that made in Hollywood with a virgin asshole.
I don't want no names over here.
What's the actor's name? Terrence Howard, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He don't be going for
It
that
don't matter
either.
who it is.
Facts.
The man was high on something.
He's on something. I'm like, yo, I am not part of that party.
Fan club.
Yeah. Bruh. And so when he literally was like, well, I was about to kill him. But this is what happened. And this is where we talk about Hollywood and the next thing. When this happens, I'll never forget, I just felt so emasculated. When he called me the next day, he called me up, my bad. Huh? Bruh. Remember I told you? Hey, wait, if somebody tries to get your trust unconditionally, hey man, that does not work.
Yeah.
I said, that doesn't work. I said, I have given y'all millions of dollars and you embarrass me in that way, in front of my wife, in front of this whole thing, and you won't say my bad?
You said, at Kwame, if you truly are remorseful, I encourage you to have gone and repented first before him, and before coming to the internet and not personally reaching out to speak directly with Terry. Well, I respect your opinion, but I didn't personally say it to Terry. I said it over the internet, so I'm going to apologize over the internet on the same channel. And if you don't respect that, that's cool. That's your opinion, and I respect your opinion. But I'm not going to reach out to him personally, no.
You slipped up. And that's it.
Should have whooped him.
And wait, and I went to the heads, I went to everybody, and they told me like, and the head of William Morris Endeavor looked at me and said, I said, bro, I can't let this happen. He said, give it your best shot.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
You understand how evil that is? If you tell me I work for you. Well, that is the thing. You telling me I'm paying you, but yet you still my slave. You're the goyim.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And I'm like, hey man. So I
right there.
I already went public before. I said, okay. So we went public together. We went on the whole thing. You can't do this. You can't do it. Sexual assault is real. This and that. We was on Dr. Phil. We was on Today Show. We was on this. I said, and I told her, I said, you cannot. I said, hey man, this dude. And when I went and I did those tweets.
And me personally, let me finish this so I can say this. Me personally, I want a wife that understands we gonna have to go eat noodles and noodles in this situation. Because I wouldn't have let fear of a job or anything stop me from doing what I know to be right as a man. Terry Crews is going to say that he felt so emasculated during this situation. So if I was to ever get married, I would want a wife that would be so in line with me. She right there with the bond money because she already know what I'm going to do. So she right there at wherever we at, LA County, she right there at the jailhouse. She already uncalled the bail bombing because she know her husband finna go to jail. So I want a wife that's in sync because they say two is supposed to come one. So did he become more like his wife? Because I'm apologizing because I understand he was a victim, but at the end of the day, two became one. So they should be aligned in this one. And if she got felt up, he would have got violent. He wouldn't have cared about his job. See, that's why I said at the beginning, somebody took the bite out of him as a man because he's only made to be violent for women. The first thing is to take care of yourself. Even on a plane, you got to put that mask on yourself so that you can be able to help others. So why did somebody train out of him to defend oneself? But if somebody would have acted the same way and grabbed his wife like that, he would have cared about nothing and he would have went to jail. But somebody grabbed him and he had enough restraint to take it. I think that's a little weird. I'm going to get violent in both of those scenarios because the behavior that young man displayed, if it was true, was disrespectful. That's why you only watch behavior. If you're not a real true person, you only watch who it happens to. So you're only mad if it happened to a woman, so you're ready to fight if it's a woman. But if it happens to a man, you don't give a shit. No, if it's wrong behavior, bad behavior is bad behavior, and that go across the board. There's a through line to it. So, me personally, like I said, I would want my wife to understand, well, that dude crossed the line, and Kwame's not going to allow himself to feel emasculated like that. I would rather go to jail and bond out and then sue this motherfucker than to stand there, feel that feeling of replaying it in my mind over and over again, what I could have, would have, should have did, and then I didn't. And I don't think money would have made me feel better. Me personally, I'm not talking about Terry on this one. I don't think money would have made me feel better for not doing that. I think whether I was in jail or not, I would have felt better for coming across his goddamn face. That's just me.
Because what happened is the Me Too movement happened. I said, this happened to me. And everybody went, what? And you understand, had I not been through what we have been through, I would have never, see, because that's the thing. Everybody wants to keep the secrets. If I had secrets, you can't talk freely. Yeah. But I was a whole person. And I said, no one can go. You got to understand how many people got off the plane, the truck, or bus in Hollywood and got molested and sent away. And nobody believed what they were saying. We went, and it was
Hollywood is weird.
I'm gonna be honest. If his wife saw that happen to him, me and my wife, I hope whoever I marry is ready to slide with me because I'm beating the fuck.
You got to.
Hey, I'm with him on that one. Facts. Whoever I decide to marry, she gotta understand, baby. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that. You too old for this. Don't ever say that to me. I want a divorce. I don't want to hear that. We got kids. Yeah, that's why I'm whipping his ass so my son can see. And so my daughter can see. You don't accept that. Nobody. It ain't just for girls. It's for everybody. You don't accept unwanted touch. You don't accept someone going past your respect like that. That's for anyone in life. Anyone in life. You meet them with disrespect and force. I'm not telling anybody to just be out here being violent, but no, you have to have defense of oneself. Self-defense. And when somebody put their hands on you unwanted like that and licking his tongue out and all that, while he licking his tongue out, it's supposed to be pop right there in his while he licking and bust all of it up, because you don't do that. And we are taking that away from males and only telling them you're only to get violent when it's in protection of a woman. That is so false. And how can I protect a woman if I got to walk around like a weenie dog most of the day and then I'm supposed to get activated all of a sudden for a woman? No, I got a man is a full-time job. It is all the time. It ain't no, I'm only a man in certain scenarios. I'm a man 24 hours a day. And that doesn't mean I'm stupid. You gotta be within reason, within the law. But no, if you put your hands on me in that way, I gotta tap you up. And if it go outside of the law, so be it. So be it.